Hello, I'm John Bachman from Newsmax TV. We're here in Boca Raton at the site of the final presidential debate, and I'm standing here with Congressman Mike Rogers, Chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. Congressman, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, so I wanted to talk a little bit about this story that was reported in the New York Times that there might be some talks between Iran and the United States. President Obama was clear. He said that story is a lie or it's not true. Do you believe that there are talks to sit down at the table with Iran right now?
Well, if you listen to his verbiage, he said there are no talks. Well, I think that's right. There are no direct talks, but there are clearly efforts to set up avenues for discussions, which can be good. The only problem is any activity outside of the P5+1 is very confusing to the Iranians. And I think Mitt Romney talked about that tonight. Those mixed messages that the president is sending to places like Iran or Russia or other places, I've got more flexibility after the election, that is really confusing to these nations and these leaders, and it is counterproductive to what we want to accomplish. That's really concerning for us. I don't think you can see that under a Mitt Romney administration. I think you'll see very clarity of purpose, working together with our allies for a common purpose to, in a case like Iran, to actually stop the nuclear program. We've seen it grow every year in the last 4 years. That's been a problem.
And Governor Romney talked about intensifying the sanctions against Iran. What specifically could he do?
Well, and he laid out a good case. He talked about ships that are carrying petroleum. And the interesting thing about this is it wasn't the president that did it. These are the sanctions that came from the United States Congress and pushed him into doing it. Well, the Iranians see that. There's two important equations here that we have to change. And I think Mitt Romney, by talking about tougher sanctions, better relationships with our allies, made this point. The Israelis have to believe we're serious when we say we'll back you up, and more importantly, the Iranians have to believe it when the president says all options are on the table. They clearly do not, or they wouldn't be running as fast as they are to try to get those centrifuges underground. And so those are two very crucial points here that the president could not explain tonight, and I think that hurts him in the national stage.
I wanted to ask you about drones too, because that is tied directly with intelligence. Governor Romney said he, in one way, agreed with the president's use of drones, but if you're using drones, you don't necessarily get good intelligence because you're blowing up an asset. What were your thoughts on the governor's comments about drones? And do you think they're being used effectively on the president? Would you like to see Governor Romney, if president, continue the use of drones the way President Obama has?
Well, I think what you heard Mitt Romney say is an effective tool, and I'll use it where it's important. But at the same time, he said we also have to find other courses of action, including, by the way, capturing people so they can give us information. Now, he didn't use those words. It's clearly what he's talking about. So he's talking about building relationships and, oh, by the way, kill them where you have to, but also there's other means. And what he was talking about is our ability to capture some of these individuals rather than just kill them, so you get better intelligence and better disruption across those networks. I think a better combination, and I'm for airstrikes when it comes to handling people who are trying to plot against the United States. It was started under George Bush. The program grew under this president, mainly because our intelligence got better. That's how that happened. Good outcome. Thanks for not stopping the program. But there are other options as well, and we need to use all of the arrows in our quiver. And I would argue today we're not using all the arrows in our quiver, including capturing some of these folks and trying to get some information out of them.
All right, Chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, Mike Rogers, thanks for being with us.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Thanks.